Anyway, how was your weekend? Hopefully everybody enjoyed EVO Japan as a spectator. Because boy, I'll tell you what, it seems like the people who went did not enjoy it. We did the English remote restream, which was honestly, it was a lot of fun, right? I enjoyed it. I had a great time. Imagine me, like I'm in Norcal, just endless snacks. There's a fridge 5 feet away from me. There's a bathroom, 7 feet away from me. Meanwhile, on my phone, everybody's like, I've been in Japan. I can't breathe. I've been waiting 8 hours to play my pool match. There's no food or drinks nearby because it's sold out because everybody's here. I'm actively dying in the venue. Meanwhile, I'm just having a little granola bar. There's a coffee machine there. Spencer's like, you want me to make you a latte? I was like, sure, I'll take a latte. I got so lucky not being flown out to Japan. Boy, I would have fucking hated it. It would have sucked so bad. Dude, I left my house. They posted the Bedman thing. There's Project L news. They posted the SOCDeez. Like the minute I left my house, there was so much. So we'll start with maybe the Project L news. Is that a good idea? They told us, hey, we're not doing any announcements at EVO Japan, etc. But much like main EVO, they showed the game off to people there. So they did a Project L banquet held by Riot in Japan during EVO Japan. Here are some key points. Aims to pass on the fighting game genre to the next generation and increase the fighting game community, but that does not mean they will abandon old players. We'll see about that. Therefore, Project L will be a game that allows players to put their passion into it, but they don't want to set the threshold too high and scare off new players. Free to play, we knew about this kind of ideology. This game is still far from closed beta, let alone release. They want to create a 2v2 game with speed, distinct visuals, powerful attacks, easy to understand defense and counter systems. Officially a live service game with continuous updates. We know about this too, right? I mean, essentially, because it's free to play, this is just how it goes. In the demo video, there was a move called Retreating Guard, which cancels backdash while in defense. If the opponent swings and misses, they can be countered by attacking if they anticipate the retreating guard move. I don't think we've seen this, have we? Normal moves can be canceled into a jump, chain combos, or a ground chain combo that includes a launcher move. So there's launcher series, or you can jump cancel your moves, which is probably pretty important for some characters to do combos or confirms. There'll be a bunch of defensive systems. They haven't been showcased yet. When calling for a character, you can swap, so you can switch while you use your assists. We know about that. There will be 3 attack buttons for light, medium, and heavy attacks, along with other combination keys and directional inputs for special effects. So it's probably special move button because there's no motions rather. So probably like that. There will be a pro esports environment, and some may worry that official tournaments will displace community events. Therefore, there will be a limit on official tournaments, and community tournaments can use L to organize events, L being Project L. It's kind of like, hey, we will run some big stuff, but otherwise you can just run it at whatever events you want to run. Cool to hear that, because I think a lot of people had a fear. They say 2v2 fighting games have always been difficult to succeed. Is that true? I don't know. I think people like 2v2 games, right? But they still want to give it a try. Even if people don't like it at first, they can continue to update it until everyone's satisfied. The cooldown system in Rising Thunder will not appear in L because depriving players of their actions is a bad thing. You can just do special moves over and over. It's more like MVCI exploded. Oh, I guess Cross Tekken kind of too. They didn't do that well commercially, but I think people like them. Also, somebody said no motion inputs. I've completely lost interest. They announced that like a year ago. I don't know how to break. Someone asked about things that make opponents hate low height characters and whether Teemo will appear, and the official answer is that you're good at guessing, but not a direct answer. There's a lot of short characters in League of Legends. Their esports competitions are not famous for high prize money, but there'll be professional regions around the world where players can earn a salary to live on. Therefore, L hopes to make players become stars instead of simply giving high prize money, because star players can earn more money through endorsements or sponsorships. Yeah, I made a whole video about their prize money, right? This is also the same, by the way, as all their other games. They don't want to run stuff in the beginning. They're going to wait. There may be summoner skills for players to choose from. I don't even know about this. Is this new? You have to kill both characters to win, which that doesn't surprise me, but it's 2 rounds, which I thought it would be a game as a game. I'm guessing you can die pretty fucking fast. If this is the case. They said they're not sure about comeback factors or comeback mechanics here. Different regions will have different servers, so players close to the server will have better connections, unlike other fighting games that use peer-to-peer. Talked about this a little bit in their early network stuff, right? In the sense that they were like, hey, they have servers to help connect people from far away so that if you have problems with your peer-to-peer connections and stuff, then, it'll be some kind of rollback solution with a server that's also there to help if they need it, right? Street Fighter did something like this with their relay servers, and so did, Sega. But obviously their rollback itself was not great. There's no leveling system for characters, but it may be added. They hope to create a game where people can interact in a conversational way rather than characters being overly violent and causing the weaker side to be completely unable to act. Combos will be difficult, some difficult combos, but they don't want them to be super long. I think having super long combos can be a big deterrent to new people if they just just get hit and they're like, I'm being hit for 40 minutes. I don't like this. Competitive organizers not to worry because L will be able to hold the game in the same event as other fighting games. This is an important confirmation because everybody is like, do you have to run a Project L tournament, or can you run a normal fighting game event and then include the game? The next thing too, players don't have to worry about becoming a professional Project L player. It will not prohibit them from playing other fighting games. Like, yeah, there was like a time with League where they were very weird about League players playing other games or streaming other stuff, and then that went away a while ago. This is also the next line about PlayStation and input delay. I find that really interesting. I wonder if they're planning to put it on there. Next up, Capcom Pro Tour SOCDeez. If you guys don't know what SOCD, it's simultaneous opposite cardinal directions, left plus right together, down plus up together, or whatever, right? In anticipation of the 2023 season, Capcom has made the decision to update the Capcom Pro Tour rules in relation to leverless controllers. This is done to address consistency and fairness concerns. The big change, if you guys don't know, is that up plus down, 8 plus 2 equaling 2, or 8 plus 2 equaling 8 is the big question. Like holding down and then hitting up plus kick while holding down still gave you, first of all, perfect charge flash kicks really easily. But also what it would do is it would allow you to flash kick from crouch. That was a big deal because there were certain things that'd be easier to react to or your character wouldn't get hit by. This created a whole big controversy, right? Obviously everybody's upset because, like, you know, the rules for this are different, the rules for that are different. One thing that I think is interesting is that lots of players and people said this: why don't you just let the game handle all of the SOCD problems and don't put it on the controllers, right? Because hitboxes are the opposite of what CPT is suggesting here, right? What you guys maybe don't know or people don't understand is that the controller cleans the input before it makes it to the game. If you hit left plus right together, your controller doesn't say, oh, left and then right, and that equals neutral. Your controller just says neutral. If down plus up equals down, and you hit down and up together on a leverless, the game never sees that you hit down and up together. It just sees down. Everybody was mad in the beginning, like, dude, this hurts hitboxes because X and Y and Z and this and that and this. Then Hitbox made their own video showing, like, you've actually made us more powerful. Look at all these sick shortcuts we can do. Guys, it's propaganda. They just want you to still buy the controller. Their first tweet was, this is so much worse and how dare you, and etc. Then it was like, look, now it's better. It's more powerful. Ooh, don't you want to go back to the old way? No, bro. Like, come on. The other thing that's interesting about this, right, is that this is not the same as other games and stuff. Some other games might have different rules, and for some devices, you can change how they operate. There's like a button that you can hit that will change what the SOCD rules are on your controller. So you'll see if your SOCD is correct versus the game you're on, which is fine. The problem is if every game has different ones and you have to switch between games, and like it's a whole annoying process of changing how your SOCDs are. They're trying to minimize the value of certain SOCD tricks. They're like trying to fix it so that controllers also can't do it. They're trying to figure this out and like make the right ruling. It's a whole big shebang about, I think, not that big of a deal. Regardless of what you do, there will always be tricks from hitting two opposite directions at the same time and what it gives you. If it's down plus up equals up or down plus up equals down, there will be something that you can do with it that exists. And whether it's like super useful or not, you know, some of them tricks will be useful, some of them will not. The use cases for most of the stuff that they're trying to get rid of or whatever is not that dramatic. And everybody's freaking out over basically nothing. Hitbox being like, look at us cheating. Like, I don't think that helps anything. I feel like it makes everything worse. Like, even if your leverless existed without any of these tricks available at all, they would still be able to make directional inputs like this faster generally than sticks and controllers. And that's just how it goes. It's also just totally fine, I think, whatever way they do it. And people will just get used to it and use the tricks that are good on which SOCD cleaning method they land on. Yeah, that's another thing. I don't know how much Capcom thought about or is like, this is the right rule. There is a chance that they're just like, we don't like that this gives you this flash kick thing. Let's just make it the opposite. And then they didn't think about it any further than that. But if people get pissed about it and they end up making it something else, then they'll make it something else, and then that'll be how it goes, right? The other thing is, somebody said, what about online? I won't know what SOCD they're doing. And like, yeah, I mean, online, someone could be cheating. They could be using macros. They could be doing literally that, like, you know, that's like the least of your worries. There's nothing you can do about that. I don't think the change itself is that large. The bigger problem is the fist fighting that goes on afterwards about which method is best and what Capcom should be doing, and trying to be like, look, it's so much worse now. You ought to change it back to how it was, you know. It's something that everybody who makes fighting games has to think about now. The using this device is cheating rhetoric doesn't help when like Hitbox is like, look at us cheating. Like, remember when they did the 4-frame super thing? The thing that literally no one uses and it doesn't matter at all, and everybody freaked out. They showed it because they're like, it's gonna make people freak out and be like, I gotta buy one of those if I want to compete. Like, who cares? That doesn't really matter at all. There's the Granblue news. Let's take a look. There's like 5 trailers to check out. Or am I tripping? Or is it just at the end? Yeah. Believe in victory. All right, cool. All right, and then where's the new character at the end? Dude, he looks sick. Man. And they announced this too, new beta test in May. With the rollback, I'm definitely going to give this a spin. Is it console only for May? Oh, no. I didn't even see it was console only. It's over, bro. All right, fuck it. I'm not playing it. Never mind, my bad. Yeah, the game looks different. They clearly did, like, the models don't look different, right? But they clearly did some work on the lighting and the shading of the characters and stuff. They look really nice. Got the SNK trailer. Dude, this shit is wild, by the way. Lil Kim action? Lil Kim. The pants look cool too, by the way. Not as cool as 13, but, you know, no one will ever play that game again with good online, right? This character, ugh. Evil character. You know how many girls that look like this have ruined people's lives in the chat? That's what I'm saying. Gothy boys ruining your life. I can fix her. Rollback and crossplay. This is absurd, by the way. Literally the most unhinged announcement ever. I cannot believe this is real, by the way. Rollback for 13 is just absurd. Like, where did this even come from? It's really cool, though. It sets kind of the precedent, though, of like how many KOF games are getting rollback. Are they going to start going back and adding it to other stuff? They have it in 98 and 2002. Are they just going to be like, all right, it's all of them? Like, we're just going to go ham. Also, no Steam here, by the way. Really curious about that. Whether there's actually going to be a PC version or not. I've been waiting for this Garo news, right? Furiously in development. This is the big surprise at the end. Dude, these boss characters are nasty. Free update. The boss characters are really, yeah, I'm sure they'll do the same thing. They have like the roadmap after this, right? The boss characters, they did the same thing with Rugal. He was also free, which is cool. Does the matchmaking work yet? No, I don't think so. That's for crossplay to try and fix and hope for. Although crossplay exploded the matchmaking for Strive. So. Anyway, cool announcements. I hope Garo is fun. Then I'm going to play the announcements in the right order for Tekken, okay? First, they announced Asuka Kazama. The reason they announced her first is because there's no way you announce this character second after you announce the other character, right? No way you bro, they announced Leroy. Steve was gonna fucking rip the building out from its fucking roots. Like, he was gonna just destroy the whole block. And then Asuka came up and they're like, who is that? Is that Asuka? Oh, damn, she's back. Like, they didn't even know it was her. I was in the other room like, oh, it's Asuka. And they're like, is that Asuka? Who is that? It's like, you know, when celebrities disguise themselves by putting on a hat, they're like, what the? If they did like a fake out and it was an Akuma trailer for April Fools, that would have been sick. What's this new outfit she's wearing? Somebody said she looked like she's in Gryffindor, and I can't unsee it. She likes belts? I suppose so. Yeah, she looks cool though. I mean, the problem with, what a fake Brit. The problem with Asuka is that everybody knows she's gonna be in the game, right? So she's not the most exciting second announcement. So it's why her being second is not the most exciting, because Leroy was the first character they announced, and what's it called? Because of that, like, you know, he's more exciting for sure. What the hell was that move? What is that she's doing? Is that new? I don't recognize that at all. The follow-up after where she powers up. Yeah, you don't like the outfit? Yeah, she does do a power dunk. Yeah, the power-up is new, right? I don't recognize it. Damn, off the throw? Dude, she is murdering. Oh my god. She looks sick. Damn, wait, she gets heat off of that? I didn't even notice it. When I only watched this trailer from like 10 feet away on a small monitor, so I didn't get to see it the first time. Really, what a butt fizz. Same with the Leroy one. I was watching it from pretty far back. Dude. I like this rage art. This is a pretty solid rage art. I like it. I'm a big fan. She looks fun. The way she pops in is so funny. I think outfit's a little weird, but everything else is like pretty... She looks dope, right? She is just like not as exciting because everybody expects her to be in the game. Leroy, I think like him having a statue in the background was sick, but people were like, you know, they want to see him. He gives me the sense, I don't know if it's just me, but I kind of feel like this character was supposed to be in Tekken 8 and then he ended up in Tekken 7, kind of. You know what I mean? Do you guys get that impression? I wonder if he was designed for this game originally. I'm very curious about that. I wonder if Lydia's gonna be like that too. Dude, Leroy is tight. What a sick character. Leroy is so sick that he ruined the last EVO Japan, and he's back again this EVO Japan, and people were still excited. You know, that's how you know this character's tight. Dude, he looks great. His new outfit's cool too. I like the outfit. Still has the cane, still launches. Combo ender. Oh, that's like the forward. I don't remember that kick that he does. 3+4 maybe. Dude, he's sick. They showed off his counter earlier too. That's his launcher, right? It's down forward 2, 1+2 or something. Down forward, whatever it is. I don't remember. Dude, this character looks so sick. That's back one, right? Damn, he gets to do that. I didn't even see that the first time. Cane. They showed 2 different cane moves there too, which is cool. 1-inch punch. His rage art's great too. The 1-inch punch. Bam. The dragon effect after is so fucking extra. Sugar just jumping in the background is pretty good. And the dog got the symbiote. This shit looks like Venom. It really does feel like, I wonder if this character was always supposed to be in Tekken 7, or if like, you know, Tekken 8 is like further away because of COVID and everything, and he was just gonna be in Tekken 8. I don't know. Who knows? He looks dope though. So let's start talking about EVO Japan. Obviously there was a lot of problems, right? But I didn't know that much about what was happening in terms of the problems of the event. I was commentating remote from Norcal. And now keep in mind, the way our show worked is we're taking feeds from all the streams happening in Japan. So from my perspective, when I'm commentating, I'm like, this is going really well. This is really fun. Like I'm enjoying it. But what I didn't realize is that we were taking matches from all 3 streams. If you are only watching one stream, you are not getting very many matches at all. I had heard that people were, you know, watching streams for like 2 hours, and in like a 2-hour block, there was like 2 matches or something like that. It was only after the first day when I opened my phone that I saw just how bad things were at EVO Japan. One, like Japanese tournaments are kind of known for not being run the best historically, right? Like that's just a thing. I can tell you the past EVO Japans were not good tournaments. People would go to them and they'd have fun because it was in Japan. This tournament was worse than the other EVO Japans, which is pretty wild to think about. When main EVO is kind of on that transition where like now all they're trying to do is like actually make the tournament good, because main EVO for a long time had a bunch of problems, but it was EVO, so you just went. Now main EVO is like trying to improve, right? So going to EVO Japan and having it be way worse than it was before is pretty bad. So some of the problems, if you guys don't know about this, normally at a pool, you have like 4 setups and you have, I don't know, 8 or 16 players in a pool and you just run, right? Like it's easy. You're like, okay, we have 8 people, 4 matches on these 4 setups, go. But it was actually extremely common for them to run an 8-person pool on 1 setup. And even then, that shouldn't take that long. But they would like play a match and then wait like 30 minutes. And like everybody who's available to play their match would be sitting right there and they would just not run the next match because they just, I don't know why. I can't think of a reason. And people were waiting, you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours, 4 hours for some people to play their on-stream match and just never go. So you waited 2 hours to play your pool and then another hour or 2 or 3 hours to play an off-stream match. That is just unacceptable. The pool should be done in 2 hours, right? It should just be over in 2 hours. Sometimes they would wait a long time to DQ. Other times people would be there. Like this happened to Obama, and I know this happened a lot at EVO Japan in the past. Obama was sitting there like 5 feet from somebody, and he said he was there before the bracket runner even showed up, right? The bracket runner was late and he got DQ'd. Well, the guy's just standing there. You know, that is ridiculous. I don't know if you guys have looked. The pictures on the first or second day, the top, the roof, like the ceiling and stuff, you can just see the heat from the venue. So for the people in there, everybody was like, yeah, I can't, it is incredibly hot. I can't breathe. Like being in here, it is just, it feels like the air conditioning's not on. There's a dank gamer fog just lingering in the air. The other thing is it's hard to get water in the venue. The seating is all messed up. They also didn't do the thing. You guys may have noticed there's a lot of double jeopardies, right? People would play someone, lose to them, play and loses for a bit, and then lose to the same person again. That's not really supposed to happen, because essentially when someone loses, the way the brackets are, right? You go down to a different side so that if they drop down, you drop down to opposite sides of the brackets and you won't play again until much later. That exists so that you don't lose to the same person twice, right? This is a normal thing. They didn't do that. So yeah, Apology Man lost twice to Gobo for 25th. I can't tell you why that happened. So many people got double jeopardy. One of the big problems is a lot of the people who are running stuff were not familiar with fighting games or how to run a bracket. Paper brackets can be fine, but if you're running a huge event, I mean, you know, get you into some problems. The next day when Street Fighter was starting, they couldn't start the matches because the brackets were paper and they weren't updated. They were like, yeah, we're not sure who's supposed to play. The bracket was in Start GG, yeah, so they could have just like, you know, used Start GG. Now, another thing, the main setup on stage, right? The main stage setup was laggy to you. You guys might have seen some of the drama, the 45-minute delay in Street Fighter. This happened from my memory at the last EVO Japan as well, and it had something to do, it's the same thing. It was a different monitor setup and everything back then, but it was the way they split the feed into 2 different monitors made it laggy. Arslan and Rangchu both complained about lag on the monitor in the Tekken Top 8, and then Punk complained about it when he went to play. They did do that, that's true. The monitors were set to a certain thing, and then Top 24 for Guilty Gear, they're like, oh, the monitors have been set to this thing all tournament, but it should be set to this thing, so we're changing it now that it's Top 24. Punk, he's perfectly valid in being upset about the setup being laggy. If you're like, yeah, everybody, why are they mad at Punk? I think if you look at his tweets, does his tweet say, hey guys, you know, I tried my best, but the monitor is laggy, and as a competitor, it's really upsetting that, you know, I play in this top 8, and like I come all the way here, I spend all this money, and it's just an unfortunate setup situation again, and like, you know, I had to voice my concerns to the TO, and I had to make it clear, you know, it's just a shame. I want to put on the best show possible, but I'm not able to. Did he tweet that? Because if he did, you should link that tweet. I would love to read that tweet. And like, I get it. You got to complain about this stuff or it won't get fixed, right? If he doesn't complain about the monitor, then they won't come out and say. They literally made a tweet that was like, hey guys, You know, the monitor is laggy. The EVO Japan stage setup negatively impacted players. If Punk and Arslan and Nee and all these people don't say anything about the setup, they just play on a laggy setup and they're like, that sucked, then it's never gonna get fixed, right? Punk cracks me up though. He got is just going through his tweet. Him saying my back hurt. That's my favorite part about the tweet. Say that there's no coffee in the venue too. Now we're speaking my language. I'm on your side now. It's insane that 3 real samurai with katana attacked Punk. I know, and he survived. And he made it to top 8. Yeah, but the tournament sucks, man. I mean, it's also especially bad because, as you guys know, think about how Obama and Gina, you know the boomers, they're like, why don't people come out to Japan and play? Like, Japanese players travel internationally all the time, and people like see an event like this and they're like, I'm never gonna go to Japan. Why the fuck would I ever go play in a Japanese tournament? It's pretty hard for you as a player to be like, yeah, let me travel out to Japan and play in a tournament. That sucks. It's hard to justify. It's also like, if you live in North America, you have a plethora of good events to choose from that are so much cheaper to go to, right? There's like other tournaments in Asia that would probably be more fun to go to. It really is a shame. You know, we didn't get to go. We were stuck in San Francisco doing the English restream. I've never been happier to not get a flight to Japan. I'm gonna be honest with you. We really got lucky that we were just chilling at home. Me, Yipe, Steve for top 8 of Strive, we were just hanging out, dude. We didn't have anywhere. And not only that, but like, you know, it was 8 a.m. in Japan during that top 8. So everybody there looks so tired, dude. The host looks tired. The crowd is like, you know, it's not that big yet because no one's there. Meanwhile, it's 5 p.m. We are chilling. I slept in until like 2 p.m. I got coffee, cracked the neck. Like, how am I feeling? I showed up to the house. They were like, oh, we got bento boxes in the spirit of Japan. Then Steve was like, oh, I went to this Chinese spot and I got some chicken chow mein, some chicken, some pork buns. You want some food? I was over there loading up on food, having coffee. Meanwhile, it's 8 a.m. in the venue. Everybody looks like a fucking skeleton. Like, they're so sad to be there. You know, it's a pretty different vibe.